Hello and welcome once again to the video. I'm fresh from recording my prediction video actually for the upcoming Dutch Grand Prix. As I said at the end of that video, I was going straight from that video straight into this video. And this one is going to be a continuation of my look at just my own personal opinion, which could well be completely, inaccurate. Being an opinion, it can't really be inaccurate as such, but certainly people will disagree, as they would do with the first video. Although so far I've not had any comments disagreeing with my top five teams, how the drivers have compared against each other. Despite the fact that I was a bit sort of passive-aggressive towards Oscar. Anyway, I didn't really have a go at Oscar, but normally if I say anything remotely against Oscar, I normally get some kind of feedback, but I have not. But which is good, I guess. But I do welcome the feedback, so yeah. But maybe everyone agrees with what I was saying about Oscar this year. Being very invisible apart from 2 races. But this in this video we're going to concentrate on Alpine, Haas, Audi, Williams, Aston Martin and Cadillac. I said 5, didn't I? 6, of course. I keep forgetting there's 11 teams. So let's dive in. With Alpine. And its drivers. Gasly and Colapinto. Okay, now Gasly doing supremely well at the start. He scored points in the first 7 races, but he's only had 1 point in the last 4 Grand Prix. Let's just put down their points as well here, shall we? So he's on 42, and because of that, I think he's been overtaken by Lawson, hasn't he? For best of the rest in the championship standings, 9th place. So I think Lawson's overtaken him now. Colapinto has been very good recently. He's getting better and better. I thought he was, I thought he shouldn't be in Formula 1 basically, but he has improved, definitely. Tough environment. Flavio Briatore having a go at you every day because you haven't won the World Championship. It's very, very tough. And I mean, people think that Helmut Marko was tough. That's nothing compared to getting torn to pieces every day by Flavio Briatore. I don't even know why he's there, to be honest. I don't know why he was allowed to come back, but anyway, that's another thing. So Gasly was my tip for best of the rest, and at the start of the season he has dropped just, I think, 1 point behind Lawson. But he's still, obviously we're talking about him against Colapinto, and I think Colapinto has very much so drawn alongside Gasly now. I would say they're pretty much on a par in performance recently. Gasly got 3rd in Monaco, of course, but there was a lot of mess going on in Monaco to allow that to happen. Yeah, Colapinto has come back at Gasly, definitely. And I think he's now, hopefully in the second half of the season, they'll be pretty much alongside each other with performance. So yeah, I'd put them pretty much equal right now. I mean, if I had to put money on which one was going to perform better in a Grand Prix, I would put it on Gasly, of course. But I think equally Colapinto can outqualify Gasly, can outperform him in the race as well. So well done Colapinto for basically saving his career. Well done for managing to stay in the team, and not get booted out like what's his face was doing. Okay, so next up is Haas. There we have Bearman. Similar to Gasly, Bearman's has had a run of bad form. I have to say, I can't remember exactly if that run of bad form is mostly his fault. Okay, where was I? Just had a skip being collected outside. Not immediately outside, but close enough for the noise to be a bit of a disturbance for the video, so I had to stop the video. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, Bearman had, how many points has he got? He's got 18, but most of those were scored in, I think 17 were scored in the first few races. He's not really done anything yet. I remember what I was saying. I'm not sure how much of his drop in scoring, shall we say, not performance, is down to Bearman and what's down to the team, what's down to bad luck. I've not really been following it. But Ocon, keep hearing rumours about Ocon leaving the team. Who knows? There might be rumours. But, you know, they've only got 21 points, Haas. They are 7th in the championship. They're pretty much doing exactly what they were doing under Günther Steiner. Now, when Günther Steiner was sacked and replaced with, I always forget the guy's name, I'm afraid. I know it begins with an H, I think, doesn't it? Now, he was more technical, of course, that guy. Can't remember, annoyingly. But yes, they're replaced by a more technical guy. We'll call him. Technical guy had been in the team for a while. And everyone was saying, now the team will improve. I was saying, I think it would be exactly the same. I think one year there might be a good year, the next year will be a bad year, then good year, then bad year. Exactly the same as what it was with Günther Steiner. And it is. Anyone looking at the results over the last few years wouldn't notice that Günther Steiner has left. It's not like the team has suddenly become a lot better because Günther Steiner left. There might be less shouting and less emotion, but that's all. So 21 points, not great for Haas. But they started off quite well. But performance-wise, I still think Bearman's outperforming Ocon. But it's a bit difficult to tell because they're so far back now. But I would say Bearman still has the comfortable beating of Ocon. I'd be putting my money on Bearman all the time anyway. Let's go with Audi next up. Oh, this naughty pen, as ever, always dries. So Audi in 9th place. Audi have got 12 points, haven't they? So Hulkenberg. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we see of Hulkenberg this year. He's so old now. Bortoleto, I know he's younger than Hamilton. Well, I don't know if he's younger than Hamilton, but he came into it a year behind Hamilton, didn't he? Well, he won the GP2 championship actually 3 years after Hamilton did. So, yeah, he probably is younger. But he's just, I don't know. He got his podium. That's the great thing. He got his podium last year. But is that really something that got, I remember saying last year, is that really something that got him excited? Because he came into F1 not thinking that one day he'll get really excited from finishing 3rd, you know. But anyway, that's a separate matter. Hulkenberg against Bortoleto. I know Bortoleto has got more points, but it's only in the last couple of races. What was it? It was Silverstone and Spa. He got 2 8th places, Bortoleto. Other than that, I would say they're pretty much level, pretty much even Stevens. I haven't really seen one outshining the other. You would say here Gasly first part of the season over Colapinto, yes, but now I would say they're pretty level. Bearman first part of the season now, still a little bit better than Ocon. These two level, I would say. But Bortoleto, like Colapinto, Bortoleto is getting better. But he was good last year anyway, Bortoleto. And he was particularly good in qualifying. I think he was very good against Hulkenberg in qualifying, but in the races, Hulkenberg's experience would normally come through. And that's what's so strange about Antonelli, how good Antonelli is in the race. As the race progresses, Antonelli gets better and better, whereas really he shouldn't. He shouldn't have the experience and the strength and everything to get better and better, and the concentration and everything that's needed. He shouldn't be able to do it. Albon and Sainz, as you can see, I'm not writing these drivers down in any particular order because Bortoleto is ahead of Hulkenberg in the championship, so I'm not doing these in any order. And indeed, Sainz has scored more points than Albon. Albon's on 5, Sainz is on 6. Even Stevens between these two, I would say, Albon and Sainz. Last year, Albon definitely had the edge for like the first half of the season, or 2/3 of the season, over Sainz. And then Sainz came back at him strongly later in the season. This year, I would say they're pretty much even Stevens. The Williams has not got a good car this year, as they themselves know very much so. It's a bad car. But both drivers, I would say, are pretty much even. I can't see any difference between them anyway. Aston Martin. This is a new pen. It was new on a couple of videos ago anyway, and I'm surprised it's... yeah, they do dry out if you leave the cap off for more than about 3 seconds. This particular pen does dry out, but it's writing funny as well. So I don't know what's going on there. So, Alonso. Who I have predicted will score maybe even more than 1 point at Zandvoort. Because I'm sure I remember Adrian Newey saying that they had not done updates so far this year, but they were going to do some, they were saving up for one big update sort of halfway through the season. And I'm sure he said, was it Dutch Grand Prix? I think it was. So that's why I think Alonso might surprise everyone. He's got 1 point. Stroll has 0. As we know, Stroll shouldn't even be in the team. Stroll doesn't really even want to be in F1. He keeps talking about wanting to be a tennis player. I mean, obviously he's got a multi-trillionaire father, so Lance Stroll can decide whatever he wants to be. He can just decide to be it, basically. The money will get pumped into it for him. Access to horrendous amounts of money, and I think his dad, would entertain anything. But I'm surprised he didn't leave Formula One a couple of years ago, Stroll, because he did mention something about wanting to be a tennis player, unless that was just some internet rumour and not based in fact whatsoever. Who knows? But you see, people can say things, legitimately say something, they genuinely say something, it gets reported by the press, what they have legitimately said, and then some, it gets brought up again a month or so later, and they go, "Oh no, I never said that. That's been made up by the press." And you just don't know. Was it made up by the press or was it not made up by the press? You just don't know. So who knows? Stroll might have said he wanted to be a professional tennis player, and he might have not said it. Anyway, he is he's dead in the waters from what I can see. He just doesn't look remotely interested in what he's doing, and I think part of that is the glaring nepotism. Being in the team, he's aware how bad it looks that he's still in the team, and oh, look at that, what a coincidence, his daddy is the part owner of the team. What a surprise, he's still in the team. I've never seen anything like this before, and it's damaging to F1 in my opinion. I'd be saying that even if I was a Stroll fan. I would think, if I was a Stroll fan, I'd be thinking, look, get out, Stroll, while you can, but you're just making yourself look worse and worse. Doesn't look good. Doesn't make F1 look good. So yes, Alonso has the beating of Stroll this year, but not massively, because they're so far at the back of the field that it just means that Stroll is not last. Obviously, the Cadillacs are normally last, aren't they? You might get Alonso just one place ahead of Stroll, but he may well be a distance ahead. I haven't been keeping a close eye on it, but the Cadillacs and the Aston Martins are always right at the back. Now, they would have a point had Perez not got a penalty. Where was it? Was it in Monaco? I can't remember. But Perez, is it 2 or 3 times this year, has had a penalty due to start line procedures. And I still don't know, I haven't read anywhere whether or not it's Perez's error each time or the team's. I'm not sure. It'd be odd if Perez is making a continual error. But he has, in general, been outperforming Bottas, you know, right at the back of the field. But he has pretty much been beating Bottas. But, you know, how long are they going to stay in it? Are they going to be in it both next year? I will be doing a prediction video for what I think will be the grid in 2027 very soon. So probably be the next video I record. I have a number recorded in advance, but the next one I record will be that one. Will I predict that Perez and Bottas will be in the Cadillac next year? Because remember, contracts mean nothing. So, you know, you can just buy yourself out of a contract. Either the team can buy themselves out or the driver can buy themselves out. So contracts, it's a bit like sellotape holding something together. Yes, it can hold it together, but all you've got to do is rip the sellotape off and then, you know, it's not held together anymore. So we'll see. But at the moment, Perez and Bottas, it doesn't really matter which one's doing better than the other. They're both right at the back. One isn't outshining the other one, but the general consensus is that Perez has done better than Bottas. But they're both just flapping about in the shallow end. So, or I suppose more accurately, flapping about in the deep end, trying to keep their head above water. But come on, Cadillac. I think they've just sacked Graham Loudon, haven't they? Well, they wouldn't use the word sacked. They would say that they have they have made a strategic structural positioning change, which basically means that Graham Loudon's been sacked. But apparently it's all part of what Cadillac were planning to do anyway. They were planning to implement team principal changes at a certain point, but even if they were, they have admitted this is a bit earlier than they were intending. So clearly they're not happy with Graham Loudon and they want to change, you know, mix things up a bit. I want them to stay in Formula One. So I hope that they can make it. They can make it, basically. Right, so that's what I've said about those drivers. Not as exciting as the talking about the top 5 teams, talking about the bottom 6, but that's just what I think anyway, about how they've matched up against each other. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do so. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so. If you'd like to like the video, please do so. If you'd like to leave a tip on the thanks button, please do so. And I will see you on the very next video, whatever it may be about. Thank you. Goodbye.